And I'm going to say one other thing. I understand this is going to upset you. I'll cue it up, and this isn't directed at you.
Hey, man.
No, that's Mitch. That's Mitch. Damn it, where is it?
Oh, my God!
This is directed at the 49er faithful. All of this talk about we're a Super Bowl team and we're this and we're that. Calm down a little bit. You guys were 3-5 last year. You went on a nice little run that got you where you beat a Dallas Cowboys team that was scared to death. You beat a Green Bay Packers team that, for reasons known to absolutely no one, can't compete with you in the playoffs at all. Good for you, though. You went out there. You got a couple of wins. You lost to the Rams the third or fourth time you played them, whatever it was, third time you played them. But all of this assumption that we're a Super Bowl caliber team with the right quarterback, y'all need to fall back a little bit because it was 2 defensive lapses that cost you the game, not Trey Lance. It was 12 penalties that cost you the game last week, not Trey Lance. It was 2 third-down penalties late in the game that cost you that game against the Chicago Bears, not Trey Lance. Super Bowl teams don't do that. Super Bowl caliber teams don't do that. There's a lot of cleaning up that needs to be done before I'm going to call this San Francisco 49ers team a Super Bowl caliber team.
Now you're being, yeah, exactly. And you're being
chair to the back of the whole faithful right there. Y'all need to calm down.
And you're being a prisoner of the moment. Hold on just a minute.
I'm a prisoner of the moment.
Absolutely, you're a prisoner of the moment. What do you mean Super Bowl teams don't do that? What are you talking about?
Super Bowl teams don't make those mistakes. I didn't see Patrick Mahomes make a mistake in week 1.
Did the Super Bowl already be? It's already been played. Is that what happened?
If it was, I missed it.
Is that what happened? Because who won the Super Bowl last year?
I believe that was the Los Angeles Rams that won the Super Bowl.
Week 10, they get blasted 31-10 by the Niners. Week 12, they get blasted 30. Well, that's not blasted, but the game wasn't as close as the score indicates. 36-28 to the Green Bay Packers. They lose by 17 to the Arizona Cardinals, 37-20. They give up 37 points to the Cardinals at home. Is that what Super Bowl teams do?
Yeah,
hell, I
it
guess
is what
they do. They won one.
They won. Yeah.
So I guess that's what they do.
Yeah.
So don't tell me after 1 week that what Super Bowl teams just play perfect all year. Is that what you're telling me? They play perfect all year. There's no bad games. There's no bad. They gave up 37 at home to the Cardinals last year and won the Super Bowl. So defenses just don't never play bad for Super Bowl teams. That's what you're telling me.
And I got to be honest, I'm really stunned that you're reacting the way that you are to my assessment on the San Francisco 49ers. But it's funny because you had a stretch of over the last 2 years, a good 9 games, and that's it. You lost to the Chicago Bears on Sunday, and your faithful are so in denial that you might be wrong about your team that you're going to blame the quarterback who was the least responsible for the loss.
First of all, don't put me in that faithful category. Any real ones? Any real ones? We don't like that faithful term. We don't. It's Niner gang. We leave it at that. We don't do that. I'm a faithful. We don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm not. I am not using Niner gang. Bang bang Niner.
No, I didn't say bang bang. I said we were saying Niner gang before we said bang bang. That's what E40 did. We were saying Niner gang years before that. No, we don't incorporate that bang bang.
Whatever y'all are, I think y'all are a little too propped up right now on an NFC Championship loss, and you've got more to prove. You've got more to prove than what Trey Lance can do. You've got to prove that you can sustain something for an entire year. You got to prove
what
you think you can go 3-5 again and wind up in the playoffs. You think you can go 3-5 again and wind up in the position?
Absolutely can. I've expressed.
Do that.
Let me express. Do we want to do that? Absolutely not. But can we? Let me express again for the 20th time in the last 2 weeks why. The NFC is garbage. So yes, you can go 3-5 and find a way to get into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, do that. Do that then. Do that. And just blame Trey the whole way.
Who? Well, I know you're not talking to me. I'm
That's
talking.
right.
Those people that are saying that we ain't paying attention to them. We're not paying attention to them. We know that they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. We understand that.
Okay. I'm not sure. But we're an all-inclusive show. I want to bring them in it. So
we address that they have no idea what they're talking about. No clue.
That is true. Yeah.
So
it's true.
I'll say this. Once again, I go back to last year when they were 3-5. Did I panic? I laid out the scenario of why this could happen. I said, it was a little rough stretch. You got to take care. Before, it wasn't personnel. It was taking care of the penalties at the time, the turnovers at the time. Said, you do that, you'll be fine. There was no panic. I said, at the very least, you're always you're gonna be in it for the wild card. And people were like, wow, the Homer Caraway, what are you talking about? It's like, bro, there's 7 teams. Just look, by virtue of that alone, unless you just fall off the face of the earth, you're gonna have an opportunity. And there were 3 teams, 3 under 500. Well, one of them was 500 teams battling for the final playoff spot last year. So I was like, as long as you don't fall off the face of the earth, you'll be fine. Nothing changed here. Not this year. And definitely not after one game.
So to me, that scenario right there that you just laid out, that happened last year. Insinuating, or not insinuating, flat out saying that could happen again this year. Sure, they can go 3-5. They can absolutely be back in the playoffs going 3-5. When we're here in week 1 and we're talking about Super Bowl caliber teams that do that are not Super Bowl caliber teams.
The Niners.
Come on, man.
The championship game last year.
No. Yes, absolutely. You could go on the run. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking. Yeah, I don't think you either purposely didn't listen to what I said or you misheard me. And right now, if the team is going to make those same mistakes that got you to the point where they were 3-5 and you had to lay out that pathway for them to get to the playoffs, that right now, today on September 14th, is not a Super Bowl caliber team.
Yeah,
in week 9, in week 8, whatever, in week 9 or 10, whatever it was when they were 3-5, that was not a Super Bowl caliber team. When the New York Giants won their final 6 games to go on to beat the New England Patriots, that was not a Super Bowl caliber team. The Pittsburgh Steelers, same thing. That in those moments, they aren't a Super Bowl caliber team. Obviously, you go on to win this. All of this is just talk. In February, the first weekend of February, none of this matters. All of this is just talk right now. My point was the talk might be a smidge bit out of bounds given what we've seen from the San Francisco 49ers.
So here's where I push back on that. They are a Super Bowl caliber team. And they were a Super Bowl caliber team last year at 3-5. They weren't playing well enough. See, to me, and maybe we have different definitions of this. Like if you have the talent and you have the roster and you're just messing up and you're not doing what you're supposed to do, that doesn't mean you're not a Super Bowl caliber team. That means you're not playing up to your abilities. You could be playing, the Detroit Lions could be playing perfectly clean football. They're not good enough. So that's not a Super Bowl caliber team. They don't have good enough talent.
Our level of how good the 49ers were was based on our own assessments, though, because it wasn't coming off of what we actually saw. It was coming off of what we believe, what we think. So that's exactly what we were just talking about with the Kings, because the year prior, not to anyone's fault, not to any fault of their own, but they were all hurt. Everybody got hurt. Literally everybody got hurt.
So that's why it was off of what we saw, though, because we said if that same group can stay healthy, we've seen them go to the Super Bowl.
Well, now, at that point, but now we're erasing a whole year. Like, to me, and it's not 49ers wise to me, I've never gotten that logic. We're just erasing a whole year and acting like it didn't happen. Like, there could have been you got guys getting older. You got, aches and pains that were at a level 5 at the start of the season. Everybody got hurt. Well, now they're at a level 7. Like it's different, especially in football. Like football's dog years. It's different in football.
And I understand that, but I do that with the Ravens. The Ravens had the most injury-plagued year last year. And I look back and I say, well, that was a factor. It's not their talent. It's not, in my opinion, it's not the people on the roster. If they can stay healthy, they can get back to being a Super Bowl contender like they were the year before when Lamar made it to the divisional round of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not a Niner thing. I'm not saying you're saying that. I'm saying like that's what we do. Like in extreme cases, like the 2020 Niners or the 2021 Ravens.
And my point was, I feel like that's flawed thinking. It's fine to look at it like, oh, these guys are coming back. I just feel like in football, I feel like that levels out. That line of thinking levels out a little bit more in basketball because I don't think you age as quickly in basketball. Mm-hmm. Just it's a different sport. But in football, I just feel like you age quicker. And that year, for those guys who played last year, it's great that the crew that was hurt, a bunch of talented players are coming in healthy. But there is a large group of players that played, and they've got the wear and tear of 17 games on their bodies now. So they aren't the same team that they were the year prior.
That's fair. And all I'm saying is, and we even put the caveat, I put the caveat on this 49ers team. I said, if they stay healthy, I don't know a team that is good enough to, if they have major players go down, can get through that and still be good. But that's why we put the caveat. If they're still healthy, we still believe that they can be good. Like all of it is, we don't know, right? Like the Chiefs, that nobody was really hurt last year. Travis Kelce can fall off a cliff this year. Like Jones could fall off a cliff this year. Like year to year, we don't know. Maybe they played too many games last year and wore their body down, and now this year they're falling. That's something we can say about teams that go off for injury or are completely healthy throughout the whole year. We don't know how this year is going to play out, but what we can do is we can see the last time, in a lot of cases, the last time they were there, and say, I think if this happens again, if they're healthy again, they can be contenders. Moral of the story is the Niners are Super Bowl contenders right now.
The moral of the story is I absolutely believe the San Francisco 49ers are Super Bowl contenders. What I don't believe is the San Francisco 49ers are Super Bowl contenders. Therefore, they've got to bench Trey Lance and bring Jimmy Garoppolo in because Jimmy Garoppolo was the quarterback the last time this team went to the Super Bowl.
That's just somebody being high. Somebody being high. That's all it is.
And I think as I was listening to Locked On and Locked On 49ers and our guy Eric Crocker.
You can charge it up like Eric Crocker.
And Candlestick Chronicles and all that. And I'm like, this is a Super Bowl caliber defense. I've got Nick Bosa winning Defensive Player of the Year. Mm. I absolutely believe in this defense. I'm gonna need to see Eric Armstead of those final 8 games last year. Mm-hmm. That's the Eric that's not fair. 9 games. I need to see that Eric Armstead. Need to see Fred Warner do what he do. I love what we saw. At the start of the for the secondary, the start the secondary had with 2 very notable exceptions. I'm very skeptical about the offense, and that's not Trey. I'm not skeptical about Trey Lance. I'm skeptical about the offense. George Kittle already missed a game. Do you think that's the last game George Kittle misses? If George Kittle plays 16 games this year, that is a massive success.
I'll tell you. I'll say this: the chance, and follow me when I say this. This is just the gut feeling that I have based on how he goes. The chances of him playing out the rest of the season are higher than him missing games anymore this season, in my opinion. Really? Because you've gotten the injury out of the way. He's good for one injury throughout. George Kittle doesn't really miss games like twice. Like he might not even play week 2, but he doesn't have like 2 separate injuries. He gets hurt to the point where like he can't go for 2 or 3 games, and then that's it. You just don't know when the 2 or 3 games are going to happen.
What was it again? Do you remember off the top of your head?
Groin.
What kept him? Groin. That's right. Yeah. I remember. Yeah,
and
groin.
There we go. NFL conspiring against the Kings again. Or excuse me,
Kings.
the Niners.
Oh no, we got 2 leagues against us. Oh no,
they're conspiring again. All of a sudden, rain in the forecast on Sunday. Here we go again. So you might not play Kittle again.
That's a mistake. The game's in California.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't rain here ever.
Yeah, I know. But no, that's why I say. That's why I say they're conspiring against us. It's okay.
That sounds like Mother Nature coming for you, not the NFL.
It's never.
Are you saying Mother Nature's in bed with the NFL? Is that what you're suggesting?
And the Rams, yes.
Everybody's in bed. Everybody's in bed with the Rams. Like, come on.
Niners always get the short end of the stick. You know what I'm saying? We always playing uphill.
Going from 2017 to last year. 15 games, 16 games, 14 games, 8 games, 14 games. That's George Kittle.
Yeah, and like I said, there's no scientific study for me feeling that way. I just know that typically
be an odd study. That'd be a weird use of science right there.
I just know typically it feels like he gets hurt at some point during the season and misses a game or 2. But he doesn't get hurt multiple times where he misses games. He get hurt and like he'll play through it, and he doesn't miss multiple sets of games typically. So I wouldn't put any money on it, but
that was my next question.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that, but I feel like he'll be around for the rest of the season.